Welcome on to the podcast. It's Mr. Ish. We're here at Kiss Bay Boys and Girls Club, Kildare Clubhouse. Another intern edition. I think I've interviewed the most interns this year, but it's fun. It's good to have them talking. It's also good to have them talking about my old school. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll all be in the mix. Let them introduce themselves. We'll start off from my left. Just give me your name. You don't have to give me your age. Just tell them why you're here.
Hello, I'm Flora, and I'm an intern here at Kips Bay, and this is my very first podcast with you.
Okay, all right, girlfriend. All right, she's a first timer. I like first timers. I just haven't had a chance to do a podcast with you because you was interviewed at another time. Mm-hmm. All right, next.
I'm Fariha. You guys know me. I've been in this intern podcast like the fourth time.
She's the OG of podcasting here. She's the one that you actually have done the most podcasts.
Oh,
damn.
I think for interns, definitely interns. Welcome, guys. Yeah, I talk a lot too. Twins. But we didn't meet like that, right? When you met me, I was like not talking. I was not talkative.
Now
at
it feels
school.
like you're in your prime over here.
Oh no, over here I'm golden over here.
Yeah.
Golden age of Ish.
I actually feel like sometimes I could do a podcast by myself, like just talking to myself.
Yeah,
like,
I literally
with
talk
my
to
ideas
myself all the time.
Yeah,
Literally.
the problem is when you start answering yourself. That's the problem.
When we talk, sometimes it's like, oh my god, we should start a podcast together
you should.
we
It's
could like.
so easy.
Really?
It's so if you're talkative, it's very easy. I started a podcast by mistake. I actually got interviewed for a radio show, and it was about a fantasy football, and it was supposed to be like a 10 or 15 minute segment or something like that, and it became like 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So after the interview, the girl and the guy were like, "Yo, you should do this. Like, this is so easy for you." And I was like, "Yeah, I had a great time, and I'm just talking. No, nothing on card. There was no script or nothing." And she was like, "You should really look into it." And I did, and I started looking into it. And then I started figuring out how I could use it to help the members here at Kips Bay, and started looking up equipment, how much it would cost, did some lesson plans, and thank God that Mrs. Sinclair and Dan Quintero, they believe in me, and they bought me the stuff and said, "Hey, Ish, go do it." And this was maybe, I don't know how many years ago. I think maybe, we're in season 7, but I think it was maybe about five years ago, something.
I would start one, but it's like, how much is all this equipment?
Well, this is fancy. Oh. You could start off basic. You could go just iPhone.
Mm-hmm. The
now
voice
this
recorder.
this is like the top of the line stuff. Like, the Rodecaster Pro and the Pro microphones and all that. This is because we don't want to grow out of it. I don't want to keep buying equipment. But if you're starting off, you can start off with your iPhone. Put your voice recorder. Friend put her voice recorder and just talk it up. And as long as it's a decent sound, if you want to invest, you could maybe do a $100 microphone, $80 microphone or something. Record right into your computer, into GarageBand if you have an Apple, which you should. I don't know why you're still out here with these Google Chromebooks, but and record right into that, and that's it. A little editing software and put it up.
Tell them about your Chromebook.
Oh my god! So the Chromebooks that the schools provide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost mine, and I told Batonzo, I was like, and he has no idea what to do. He's always like, quote, busy, and every time I go to him, like, it's nothing. It's like radio silence. It's like, I'll see what I can do about that. And it's like he doesn't even care, and I'm just like, I need to do my work on this.
Okay, so what you do is that you call 311. Seriously, 311, and you know how you go into you have a school email, and you tell them that you lost your iPad, your Chromebook, and they have to replace it. You have to do your work on it. It has nothing to do with Batunzo. You could try going through him. You know what he's going to do? He's going to tell somebody else to call 311.
And that's what he did. He was like, I'm going to talk to Rivera, and I will probably have an answer for you tomorrow.
Those Chromebooks are like $200. They're the cheapest Chromebooks you could probably get. They have like 32 gigs. You can't put like 2 pictures in it without it.
Yes.
You can't do no editing. You can't do none of that.
Yeah.
When we used to have, I don't know if you guys were there in the good old days, but we used to have MacBook Pros for everybody, and they still have them in those carts. Thankfully.
Yeah.
But we used to have them like we had an abundance of MacBook Pros, and then after the pandemic, they had to scale down and get some cheaper equipment. But those Chromebooks are horrible. You used to give me one like to do the bathroom duty. And I never even did it. I was like, I'm not using this. I was like, I can't use this Chromebook. Every time I log in, it throws me off. You need to keep putting your ID number. I don't have time for that. I'm Apple person.
The crazy part is we do have like MacBooks, but like we use that for different classes, and then we also have our Chromebook. So it's just like, why not use the carts that are provided there too?
Because they move the carts around.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the carts are being moved around. I don't like to defend these people too much, so. But they could maybe come up with a better system, but
Yeah.
you don't have a
See?
computer at home?
I do. That's like the good part about this is I can
Wait,
at least do my work.
can't
at
you
home.
like? I know that Aiden like brings his MacBook. I mean, you could try.
brings his MacBook
Uh-huh.
to school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could. I thought about it too, but it's just like,
You know, I'm not saying that, out here in the Bronx is not the safest place.
yeah, that's
Of
So you understand
course.
if someone starts seeing that you bringing a MacBook Pro, you never know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave it at home. They're supposed to provide you with the instruments to learn, and they have to provide you. But for you, if you lost it, 311, give them your OSIS number, do all that. Remember how you used to do for the iPad?
yeah.
Do the same exact thing. It was lost. I don't know if you had to do a police report or not, but you tell them that you lost it on the bus and wherever you lost it at, and that's it. They have to provide you with another one. They have enough. There's a whole closet in the back full of computers.
And
Don't,
it's just like
don't tell
every
them I
time-
said, but there is.
Every time I ask him too, it's like he keeps making excuses about like, oh, this has never happened before, and I don't know what to do. And it's been literally, I think, over a month
I don't
too,
know.
and he's just treating it.
Maybe
like
you have to
nothing.
get your parents involved.
Yeah, I did, and he's like, I just don't understand what to do.
I think when you say your parents called over there, did they
Um,
call or email?
No, like I told him like through my parents.
Okay, well,
Let's go.
I think that once you put it into a document like an email, it becomes a legal document. So,
oh, I emailed him
no,
actually.
you continue doing that every day and email him.
He doesn't email back. He's
That's-
just like,
that's
I
okay.
see my.
That's
email back."
negligence.
That's okay. He does. Then you have proof that he didn't email you. He hasn't taken care of his job.
Mm.
So you have 30 emails that he didn't answer. I've tried everything that I could do. Go to your counselor. Who's your counselor?
Miss
Miss
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez?
Washington?
Oh, yeah.
Washington or Rodriguez?
We actually don't know. That's how disorganized we
Okay.
are.
Yeah.
Well, I think Washington does the seniors, but the seniors are gone. So she might be doing you guys. So go to Washington, go to Rodriguez, tell them about it, and tell everybody that you can about it. And then get together and tell your parents about it. Things are not gonna get done until you keep on and keep on. No one's too busy to educate somebody. That's your job. Your job is to educate somebody and give the people the tools to educate. So I know there's a lot of things that goes on, behind the scenes, but it's important enough that you need a computer to do your work.
Yeah.
So get on there. Then do I have? Let me see if I have my. Hold up a second. I want to say a word, but I want to make sure I have my thing. Get on about it. Okay, so I want to make sure I bleep myself out. What else? What else is going on in your lives as juniors? What's the big deal this
SAT
year?
scores.
Ooh,
we
did
got
you get
it.
them?
Yes.
All right,
we got
let's go. I don't have a drum roll.
Please
What
don't.
we got?
No,
What we
no,
got?
no, I'm not gonna. That's
You don't
want to
say it?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you what I had. I think that when I took my SATs, it used to give you, I think, 400 points
For
your
writing your
name.
name.
I think
yeah.
now,
not 200?
I think now it's 200.
Yeah,
No, now
it's
it's
200
200.
Yeah, I think it's now. I'm old school. So I think it was 400 to write your name. I think that I know my son beat me. So I think that the perfect score then was 1,700. I don't know what it is now. I think
1600.
it's 1,600. I think,
Yeah.
so it was 1,600 to 1,700. That might be the same. I think I got 11 something. It maybe 1150. I needed 1,000 to get into Syracuse. To get to a better school, you need at least 1,000. So I made it. I made that part, but I think my son got 1,275 or something like that.
That was my goal, 1200. I didn't even check yet.
But in your SAT, do you guys? I know for my SATs, we did a lot of comparisons and analogy like type of things, and I really hated it because it makes no sense sometimes. A tire is to water as this is to that. I'm like,
What?
Yeah.
so it was like 30 of those questions. Like, come on, that's not gonna come up in my life. Like math, I could understand. Reading and getting an answer, I could understand. Even the essay part, it has structure and stuff like that. But water is to a battery as Duracell is to what? You're like, what?
Like, what's crazy is
I couldn't
we're
do
the
that.
complete opposite. I hate math. I literally, there's a section of math, like the last column of the multiple choice, I left it blank, and that's like terrible.
And then
'Cause
you
I
could
think
do
she's-
that. I know people used to do. There was in my school.
I just
the-
bubble C's.
People
That's
used
what
to be
he
like,
said
yeah,
to
so people
us
used
to
to be
do.
like, just bubble A B this, A C this that, and just like kind of like guessing in a pattern, and that used to help. I'm gonna tell you, my vocabulary must have been horrible. My comparisons must have been horrible, but I must have done really good in math and in the essay part for me to keep that score that high.
You guys still had the section in ELA where you had to do like grammar fixing and stuff.
No, we didn't have that.
Well, we had that.
Well, like this year, like they got rid of essays, so we don't have to do
Yeah,
that.
we didn't do
Oh, so you
essays.
see, we did essay and we didn't have to do the grammar fixing.
If there was essays, I would be in deep.
The
Oh,
essays were
we used to
optional
practice.
now.
Yeah?
The essays were optional, but then it was like outdated like this year, I think.
Well, and to tell you the truth, I don't even think colleges are mandating that you have a
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
SAT.
not. It's not
They're
So it's
required.
not even
Right.
fair no more. Like
Exactly.
you could, why are you taking SAT for you to tell your friend I did better than you?
I always say that like tests don't define you. Like I think I'm a pretty smart person, but like I'm a terrible test taker. Like
Yeah, I think that my daughter is very, very smart. She gets nervous taking tests. She does well when it's a subject she likes, but some people are like that, and you're gonna go through life that you don't like that. The only problem is that they need a scale, and I think after the pandemic they started opting out of all types of testing. Like you could opt out of the citywide testing now. You can opt out of this. You can opt out of that. Regions don't mean any. Well, regions still kind of. If you want the regions diploma, well they don't call it a regions diploma. No, what they call it? It's
Graduation.
no, but what they call it is it's not called a Regents diploma. When I was in school, it was called a Regents diploma. You had to take like 5 Regents to get this, a different diploma.
Advanced regions?
Yeah, advanced Regents. Now it's called the advanced Regents or something like that. And all it is a sticker that goes on your diploma. Like, big deal.
It's like it's
Like
not
you,
gonna matter.
like you really,
coming
you're really
years, like,
working
it
so
really isn't.
hard and doing all this for the sticker that they're gonna put on your diploma.
and it's like when you're adult, you're doing something completely different from when you were in school. So it's like that sticker is not gonna matter at all.
I mean, I guess it matters when you're, when you're 13 and
Transitioning.
14 and 15 years old. But it's true what you say.
Priority shift as
Yeah.
an age.
I think that once you're 18, if you like internships and work experience is gonna matter because they're gonna see, oh, she's done this, she's done that, she's tried this. Like you said, you like to try everything. So when you try everything, you're gonna learn a lot of things. So sometimes I compare myself. I always say I'm the jack of all trades, the master of none. Because there's not something that you can't say, Mr. Ish, have you done that? Oh, I've done that. I know somebody. I got somebody that did it. So I kind of familiar with a lot of things, but I can't say that I have a certificate in editing. I don't have a certificate in photography. I have my own business that does photography, but I don't have so when I didn't sit down and take a test and say, yes, I know every camera angle, lens, or stuff like that. So
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like personally, I have to like try everything out before I do anything else because it's like if you think about it, like I'm still young.
of course.
I have a lot of time, like a lot of time to figure out what I want. And so I'll just try everything out until I really figure out my passion. And, I know that I talk a lot and I see that I keep coming back to these podcasts. So maybe I could like do something like that in future. We
That's
never
it.
know
Agreed
I
with
mean,
that.
you could sit there and have a podcast about your experience from, and I'm giving you a podcast right now, your experience in high school from 11th to 12th grade. And every week, sit down and talk about your experience of the week. Well, we taking these regions. I don't know what it's for, blah, 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 blah. Oh, we just got our SATs. I filed this. My friends are nervous because of that. And it's just, there's going to be people that are your age that can relate to your podcast.
I honestly just take my MacBook and I just talk to myself on it. And I honestly do it for like memory reasons. And then like I just look back at it and I watch and I just like see how things change. Because when I'm recording and I'm talking about my life now, like a couple months ago, I didn't think I would be working with kids because I was just so set on like doing something creative, like event planning or something like that. So I'm just glad that like I took this so I can just have like
Well, let me
experience
tell
on
you
different
something.
things.
This experience will probably help you in event planning also because you have to learn how to relate with different people. Like if I'm doing a Sweet 16, I know how to relate with teenagers. Not that I have teenagers anymore, but I know what teenagers think. I know what's kind of hot. I know a little bit of the slang. And I'm an adult, so I step in that room and I take over. I'm like, hey, I got too many people to take pictures of. Stop playing around. If not, I'll delete you from the pictures. It's her birthday. I'll tell them straight up just like this. It's her birthday. If she wants to take 85 pictures in that corner because that's what she wants, it's her birthday. I don't care that you have a nice suit on. It's about her. So
Exactly.
since she picked you to be in her, her group, you sway with her. All right? Make it about her. And then everybody will be happy. And I've kicked people out of pictures. Yo, get out, get out. And the mother's like, "Oh, but get out of my picture."
Wait,
It's
you've
still
done
there.
event planning before?
No, well, I do photography and
Oh.
videography. So when I do it for weddings or sweet 16s, if a person's giving me a hard time, oh, but wait up, I got to put my lipstick. Get out of my picture. It's about her. Okay? Because her grandmother's waiting right here for another picture. I'm not going to make her grandmother wait. You are out of the picture. Let's take this group picture. Grandma, get in. Because, it's all quick. It's about timing. These events are 5 hours long. I don't want her to just be all day taking pictures. She wants to have fun.
Right.
She wants to eat. She wants to dance. She wants to do this. So I can't just. I have a specific time that I could do what I have to do, what I'm getting paid for. So I don't play around. If I see an auntie or somebody with their phone in the middle of an aisle when I'm doing a wedding, I give them a straight
them out.
elbow. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I give them a straight elbow. Get out, and they be like, "Ugh." I'll be like, "No, I'm
I've
getting
done that
paid
before.
for this."
You know, I had my cousin's wedding this summer. Like I said, this summer, last summer, and there was this like group of women just taking pictures. I'm like, yo, she's walking in. Get out of the way.
Honestly,
Out of the way. Like I know it was like rude, I guess, but it's like I really don't care. That's my favorite cousin.
Honestly, don't
You're
have
gonna
the
be out of
guts
her
to.
way.
You don't have the guts to do it. You have to sometimes build that. And I usually, when I'm doing a wedding, I sit down with the groom and the bride to be, and I tell them straight up. I'll be like, "Look, you're paying me a lot of money. The person that's taking a picture with an iPhone, they're not paying me that money." And then the second thing is, I'm developing an album. I'm developing a moment for you. I need to get the first kiss. I need to see the dad crying when he's holding you. I need to do that. That's my job. I'm capturing an event for you. I don't care that your aunt wants to take a picture at that moment. She's not going to be able to be in the picture.
It's not gonna come out
like
as
it's
good
not
either.
it's not important to me. My thing is to take pictures of everything that you may not see, that you don't see, of the crying on the side, your mom, looking at you a certain way. That's my job, to capture these things. So I don't care who else has a picture. It really doesn't matter to me. If I could go to a place and everyone has their yonder pouches and we lock them up, that would be my perfect wedding.
Yeah.
That would be my perfect wedding. Yonder pouch, everybody.
Yonder pouches are expanding.
Only the photographer.
They said that like in certain celebrity like events, like no phones, they put you on their pouches.
Yeah, I
Well, that's
remember
that's
when
how
they,
you know how we got yonder pouches, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they-
somebody said that, right? Like,
yeah, when they were introducing it, it was like for theaters, like when people didn't want people recording, so they would put
Okay.
in yonder pouches so
But
they would focus on.
you
the
could
show.
ask anybody in your school who brought yonder pouches to the
you.
school.
Let me guess, you.
Because I went to an event. I went to a Dave Chappelle show,
Wow.
and as soon as I walk in, they said put it in here. I was like, what? Slipped it in. They locked it. That's it. Had a great event, whatever. At the end of the day, the same way you would bloop, plop it, and go. So I was like, wow, this would be cool, because at that time, me and Burkhardt used to do the envelopes.
The envelopes. Oh,
did
Yep,
the
the
envelopes.
envelopes.
So I was
God.
like, this is even better because we don't have the phones.
Yeah,
We
you guys are
give
not
it,
gonna be
we're
held
giving it back to you, because a
responsible.
lot of people were like, you ain't holding my phone, you ain't holding my phone. So this is the way to give it back to you. Make sure that it's turned off. We're giving it back to you. Your responsibility. That's it.
And it was much easier too with
So-
the envelopes.
So
hide it.
the envelopes were hard. The envelopes sometimes were hard, because
Every
they would
single day,
bumble
it
them.
was like,
You know
they
what?
would
The,
come in
the
and
elevator
blah, blah,
didn't
blah.
work, and I had to carry all those phones up.
Oh my god.
there's no way.
Yeah. Oh, it was 6 months that I did that. Me and Burkhardt used to carry all the stuff down by the door, freeze for from 7:00 to 8:45, and then when you're finished, carry all that stuff upstairs.
I wonder how Burkhardt's doing, to be honest.
He's doing great. I just spoke to him today.
Wow.
Oh, hi, Burkhardt.
Yeah,
Hi,
if you're
Berkey.
listening to
Giving
Hi,
you a
Berkey.
Giving
We
you
call
a
him
shout
Berkey
out.
too.
You call him Sugar? Oh, my man Berkey. He's doing good.
Anybody that's out of Becca is thriving.
Yep.
We know. We just know that. I can't wait for that to be my turn.
Me
Like,
too. I deeply regret
6
not
more.
changing schools and
Well, you didn't have to change schools, but I think that now as a junior, you really have to set yourself up for your last year.
yeah, definitely.
You guys have good
We gotta
grades.
fight.
You guys have your regents under your belt. You're smart ladies. You need to start thinking about, hey, how I want my last year to be, because your last year is not really a year. Your last year is a few months.
Yeah.
So-
And the worst part about it is like nobody's gonna do anything to make it special.
You gotta do it yourself.
Yeah.
I've been telling you that for the longest. I tell everybody that comes here, for internship, tell them the same exact thing. Don't depend on somebody else. You need to depend on yourself. You've been in the school long enough. I would say do a party without them knowing. That's how far I would go. I'd be like, yo, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. Let's go to Dave and Buster's. Let's look it up. Senior trip to Dave and Buster's. You're all in. We're all in. Pay it and have a great time.
Honestly,
Have a great time.
At
Do
this
it.
point,
Do it.
that sounds
do it
way
on.
better.
Do it yourself. Take pictures. Goof off. Do all that stuff. Because if you're gonna wait for someone to write a check to get it done for you or to get it organized and you pay, I don't have money. Yo, when is it gonna be due? Oh, the money's due this. Oh, I don't have the money yet. And wait for all that time. It's gonna pass you by.
yeah, it's
It's gonna
never
pass
gonna
you by.
happen.
It's not gonna happen. So now that you're working, start putting a little $100 aside and get your stuff together. And even if it's your 25 friends, you know what you could do? I always wanted to do this. A silent party. You ever did that? You never heard
Is
of
it where you put
a silent
headphones
party?
on
You put headphones on.
and the music's playing for you?
Yeah. And there's like a little bass that you control it. So you could do a playlist. She could do a playlist and another person does a playlist. And you put it in a book bag. And if you want to listen to, let's say, rock music, your color will be red, and you'll be vibing out to your rock. She wants to listen to something else; it'll be green, and she's listening to hip hop. The other person wants to listen to R&B or whatever, and it'll be a different color, and you'll all be together, and you'll be ooh ooh, and then the person's listening to the same song because you have the color
same-
red.
Yeah,
I wanted to do that for my birthday.
really.
I just go to like Central Park and it's cool because you could do it like on the train to a place. You could do it in a park. You don't need a permit, and you're all having a great time. Take pictures of each other, and you having. I think it costs $800 to get it done.
Wow.
So it's not nothing crazy either. You could get your senior class.
If you have like enough people, like
Your senior
yeah,
class is
sure.
about 80 people. You could get $10 each and get it done. $20.
That is honestly great.
Look it up. It's called a silent party. They do it in different places too. So if you don't have, if you're not savvy enough to, control an iPhone and do this and do that,
I'm gonna tell you
go
one
somewhere.
thing. A lot of people in the school is boring.
Yes, that is very true.
it's boring. What you mean?
They're
Like-
boring. They're just boring
Yeah.
people.
They just don't do anything. It's like it sounds good, but honestly, if you were to like ask, like, oh, let's all,
execute it like yeah.
It
it's
wouldn't
gonna
go-
fail.
I'm gonna tell you that maybe they're boring because they don't see nobody else that's exciting either. When you met me, I was boring.
Yeah.
You can say
Yeah.
the truth. I was boring. I was
No
in.
offense.
I'm no offense taken. I was boring because my job was to be boring. My job was to be direct, do what I had to do, and that's basically it. Now, my job here is not that. My job over here is to interact with every and anybody that walks across. So it's different because I could talk, I could have an opinion, I could have, I could do things. I have a little more power, I have a little more leeway here.
you can sit other places other than
Yeah,
the
so it's like I could do more things here. So obviously I'm more involved in things that go on here. So it's much easier. So you can see that my face, my everything changes as soon as I walk in the door. I mean, you didn't get to see me, when I was over there and then walk in, because by the time you started already, I was gone. But for the ones that did over there, I didn't talk to you, and over here I was like, oh my god. And then I go back over there and I still don't talk to you, and then come back over here and they were like, wow, are you so different at work? I'd be like, 'cause it's two different jobs.
Yep, two different
Over there,
environments.
you could you imagine if Mr. Patanzo saw me talking to you in the hallway?
He would have like the
Oh.
most.
He'll be like, why are you talking in the hallway?
Why are you even talking?
Yeah,
is
like,
the question.
why are you talking to her in the hallway?
Why don't you go to class?
Like, why are you having a conversation? She needs to go to class. I'm like, I'm sorry. She asked me a question. Like, I didn't want to go through that. There's cameras over there. I'm like, and then he's gonna be like, why is this older guy talking to a 17-year-old?
I mean, that's a hypocrite right there.
I know, but it could be anything. It could be anything.
Right.
Like my job was not really to interact with students as
Yeah.
much. I'm not a teacher. I wasn't that type of person. So my job wasn't to interact with you guys. So if I was a teacher, yes, I have to speak to you. But if I'm just an admin person, a person that puts books away and does bathroom duty and controls your phone, there should really be not too many conversations with you. Hello, goodbye, give me your phone, lock it up, you lying, I'm calling your mother, and that's basically it. That's the only conversation I can have.
Crazy.
Yep. So
It'd be
that's
like that for real.
But I tell you that if
You should bring us back. Like after we graduate, you should bring us back.
yeah, always
and
welcome.
we will actually spill the real
Oh,
tea.
no,
Yes.
you always welcome back. All you need to do is you have my email or that. Reach out to me. I'll do an independent
We will
podcast.
spill the
Ain't no
real
problem.
tea for all 4 years, and it's gonna be like
Becca exposed coming.
exposed.
you know what?
expose.
Do it yourself, and I'll listen to your show.
Oh,
So
that's a good
it.
idea.
So
It's like we're like Gossip Girl.
that's
Yeah.
it. Grab some kids and start interviewing them. Some of your classmates, some sixth graders.
6-year-old.
If any teacher decides that they're
Nah,
willing
those
to talk,
sixth graders be bugging. Not
yeah,
gonna lie.
it's crazy.
I
All right,
they're
ladies.
kids
Well, I
too.
gotta go. I mean, I would love to stay here talking
Yeah,
to you,
me
but
too.
25
I'm hungry.
minutes is
I have to
25
break
minutes.
my
I'm
fast.
starving.
Yeah.
You know, like
Okay.
I gotta get out.
All
Very
right,
tired
don't
from
don't
watching
leave
these
yet. I
kids.
gotta say goodbye.
Oh yeah, you're right.
All right, goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check.
All right, we're out of here.